Cod, a biography of the fish that changed the world by Mark Kurlansky. Introduction. Cod, a biography of the fish that changed the world by Mark Kurlansky is a story about the enormous impact and influence cod fishing has had on the course of human history. Kurlansky observes that codfish played a key role in the socio-economic development of several countries and communities in the medieval era. To drive his point home, the author uses real-life experiences of various cod fishing entities that have come out and disappeared throughout history. Here, he tells us that, ever since mankind went to the sea, battles over fishing territories and policies have been major conflict elements in the cod fishing industry. In this book, he maps out these conflicts via a brief history of experiences that are very easy to read and understand. Discussion. In this exciting history of a millennium-year extravaganza, Kurlansky outlines the links between the cod fishing industry and past eras and experiences such as medieval Christian observances, the war between Germans and Britons over Icelandic cod, slavery, trade, and the decline of the Roman Empire, as well as the development of complicated fishing industry in England. The writer links this account in an interesting style while offering perfect scientific ideas. But the account has a tragic ending. There are serious troubles in the cod fishing industry since the Atlantic fish has been overharvested near death. The author observes that the chances of a revival of the codfish populace are very slim. He thus states, "There is only one known calculation: when you get to zero, it will produce zero." The current technological advances have helped in producing very effective and efficient fishing techniques that have led to a depletion of the codfish population in Atlantic waters. This is because a number of the fishing approaches already in use usually fish both mature and young codfishes together with their eggs, thus limiting their chances of increasing their populations. Kurlansky uses individual quotes from cod recipes gathered from slaves, emperors, envoys, and a renowned scholar Thoreau, to shed light on how cod fishing was very important to society. He tells us that, in the course of history, battles have been waged, revolts have been staged, diets have been founded and economies established as a result of cod fishing. He further observes that the main reason why Europeans were set to navigate across the Atlantic was because of their search for codfish. At that time, cod had essentially become the staple food for the Vikings in icy Greenland. The Vikings froze and dried the cod and then broke it into small pieces and consumed it as a hardtack. Codfish was a staple diet for medieval societies whereby Basques traded salted cod. Cod started with the strange medieval supply of a fish known as the codfish in the fish harvesting boats of the Basque, who were also unfamiliar. The codfish was at times fished nearer to the continent, but it was not in such big quantities as the Basque dealers supplied. Some Christian observances such as those of the Catholics gave the Basques the opportunity to make money. The Catholic Church enforced fast days whereby sex and consumption of meat were prohibited. However, consumption of frozen foods was allowed. In regard to observation of the fasting, there were more days in a year in which Catholics were eating salt cod in the year. As a result, the key suppliers of the cod, the Basques, took this as an opportunity to sell their cod to Catholics. But nobody knew where the Basques were getting their cod supplies, as they kept this a top secret. To uncover the source of the Basques' cod supplies became a key objective to many traders' adventures. In the late 15th century, due to a victorious endeavor by the Hanseatic Club to prevent Britons from Icelandic cod, the League discovered an island in the Atlantic waters named Hy Brasil, which was thought to be the source of Basques' codfish. The League found a considerable quantity, however they kept it a secret, and as such the League was not happy with the Hanseatics' attempts to discuss trade with Iceland. Kurlansky also tells us that other explorers said that some territories in the New World were for some governments. One such explorer was John Cabot, who claimed that Newfoundland was for Henry VII. Cabot said that Newfoundland was part of King Henry VII coastal territory and that it was fit for drying cod fished from the sea. The other explorer was the Jacques Cartier, who was associated with the invention of the island of St. Lawrence and who said that the Gaspe Peninsula belonged to France. Cartier identified over 1,000 Basque fishing boats already on the shore. However, the Basque denied them in their efforts to keep the secret of their source of cod. The author provides us with the reason why the codfish population, whose supply was once believed to be limited, has declined so significantly. In the late 19th century, some scholars questioned why the once inexhaustible codfish population had declined so rapidly. Kurlansky observes that the cod fishing industry is truly threatened. The codfish population is rapidly decreasing in the Atlantic waters. Even the societies that built their economies with the help of the cod fishing industry have a hard time caring for their diminishing codfish stock. Rapid technological advances are changing fishing into fish harvesting, and the traditional practice of drying fish has turned into freezing them in fishing vessels. These approaches to fishing have led to overfishing, which has contributed to the rapid depletion of the codfish population in the Atlantic waters. If we want to restore the codfish population, it is now than ever before that we embrace fishing approaches that encourage the growth of the fish population in these waters. One such technology is developing fish pods that can allow reproduction fishlets. Otherwise, the current trends in the fishing industry continue and may result in a worse situation than what we are experiencing at the moment. Conclusion. In a nutshell, codfish was more important in the course of mankind's history than all other types of fish. The cod was attributed to the invention of North America. Cod also was associated with a significant effect on the socio-economic development of England and East Canada since time immemorial. However, in the contemporary world, overfishing is becoming a threat to cod. Without question, Cod by Kurlansky is a fascinating adventure of the past with all its advancement forces. Cod can also be said to be an awful story of environmental collapse, of diminished fishing quantities where once the codfish's population was famous.